It's a slow morning in the Melonkeeper Gold household. Yesterday I woke up at like 7:30, and usually I get the bus in to university at like 9 o'clock. And so, waking up at 7, I was like, oh, this was an accident. I had my alarm set for like 8:30. But waking up at 7, I was like, okay, this is a cool opportunity because I've never really been in this situation before, right? And so I got out of bed. I woke up with energy, right? That's the thing. Like, a lot of the time when I wake up, I'm like, oh, I gotta go. Like, I gotta get out of bed. And it's like effort. But, waking up at 7, I felt like I had time to actually do something before going out. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna boot up my PC. I'm gonna, play some video game. I booted up Stranded Isle, the game that I always play, and it was awesome. I just like played the game, but before going out. And then today I woke up at like 8:30. I was like, okay, I don't have a lot of time, but I decided the day before, yesterday, I decided I was gonna go in a bit later because I've been getting there at like 11 every day, and I was like, I'm not in a rush. I'm like, I don't have any classes right now. I'm getting on with my assignment. Let's just let's take it easy. It's a Friday. And that's where we're at. I've had my breakfast, and we're taking a slow morning. We're taking it easy. Today we're playing Rystar. This game's awesome. This game kind of just makes me happy. I remember being like a kid and talking about Sonic with my friends, and they're like, oh, what's a good Mega Drive game? I'm like, no. What's a good Mega Drive game? Or like Master System? I don't remember. I'm still not really sure what the difference is. Maybe somebody else in the comments or something is more informed on this, but like, in my mind, Genesis, Mega Drive, and Master System are all kind of the same thing. I know Genesis is different, and that Mega Drive and Master System are maybe actually the same thing. I don't remember. They all play the same games. Like, Sonic 1's on all of them, and that's all that matters. I remember, yeah, my friend was like, oh, what's a good Mega Drive game? Probably Master System. What's a good Master System game? Rystar. You should play Rystar. And I was like, okay. But as a kid, I didn't have any way to get new Master System games. Today, if I wanted to get new Master System games, I wouldn't. I guess I wouldn't want to get new Master System games. But if I wanted to, I would probably go on eBay or something. But as a kid, it's like, well, you can't just pop down to the shop and pick up a Master System game. It's 2000, like, what? 2010, probably, when I'm having this conversation. In fact, honestly, probably later than that. Probably like 2010, probably like 2012, 2011 maybe. Like, okay, how am I gonna play Rystar? And I remember hearing that Rystar was on the Sonic Mega Collection Plus, which I did have. And I remember hearing that Comix Zone was on the Mega Collection Plus, and I was like, oh, Comix Zone looks really cool. It's like a beat 'em up, and I was not really a big fan of beat 'em ups. Like, I played Golden Axe, and I had played, like, I think I had played Streets of Rage maybe, but I wasn't a huge beat 'em ups fan. But Comix Zone, just like aesthetically, is really cool. So I'm like, oh, maybe I want to play this game, Comix Zone. And I don't know, to this day, I don't know if those games are actually in the collection. I think Comix Zone is only in, like, the American version. But yeah, I never got to play Rystar. I have played it since, like, I'm playing it right now, but this is not the first time I've played Rystar. It's the first time in a long time, and I never spent a lot of time with Rystar when I did play it. But, I remember when getting the Sega Genesis Classics on Steam, I got all the Sonic games, and then I was like, let's just get a bunch of other ones, because I think they were in bundles. Like, I think you got, like, all the Streets of Rage games together, and you got, like, Flicky and stuff with Sonic or stuff like that. I could be remembering wrong. I just remember them being, like, dirt cheap. And so I got all of these, I got all of these games, and Rystar is one of them. So I'd played it before today, but my experience with Rystar has been pretty limited in time, and this is a series they should bring back, I think, and not for the reason you expect. I'm not gonna say like, oh, secretly this game is like super good. Some people do like it, some people don't like it. I'm gonna say it's an okay game. The reason they should bring it back is because the hands thing is kind of like a grappling feature, which reminds me of Yonoid 2, which is, you know, the best game ever. So, I'm thinking any game that has these Noid-like features, they should keep. I'm now figuring out what I'm supposed to do here. Is this. I completely forgot that you could do that. Let me get this. There we go. Full heal. That's broken. Okay. But yeah, Rystar, I remember hearing about it as a kid. Didn't get to play it as a kid. All of this experience I had playing it that I'm talking about, well, I guess, I don't know. I wasn't an adult. I would have been a teenager. But older than when my friend had first told me about the game. But that's the thing, I have not played a lot of these, like, Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, Master System games. I've not played a lot of them. I've only really played the Sonic games. I've played Flickies. You know, the classics. I've played the classics. I've not really... I've tried Streets of Rage, but I've barely played Streets of Rage. And maybe that's what I need to do, you know. I have so many games to play this year. Maybe I need to... pardon me. Maybe I need to play more of the Sega games. Because there's a lot out there. In fact, if we're talking about, like, Sega Saturn, I've barely played any Sega Saturn games. I've played Sonic Adventure. That's kind of it. I played Sonic Adventure, I think on PC, but then I also was at a con once, and there was a Sega Saturn setup with Sonic Adventure, and that was really cool, playing it on the original hardware. I always loved doing that. I've not done that a lot. In fact, on this channel, almost every game I've played on my computer. Which is, it's not going to stay that way. It's just right now, I don't have any consoles set up. I do have consoles. I don't have even my Switch is not plugged in right now. So yeah, the Tetris 99 video, the Kirby video, those were on Switch. But like, by and large, I've played all of the games I've played on this channel on PC. I do want to change that. There are some games that I know for sure I'm going to play on original hardware, like Tokobot. I'm not emulating that when I play it. I'm gonna play it on... I might emulate the PSP version, but the PS2 version I'm going to play on my PS2. But yeah, I definitely want to play on... I don't know, there's just something about like plugging in a console and going through a home screen instead of like, you know, just going on Steam or something like RetroArch and putting it up that way. There's a completely different vibe, and it's not necessarily better. In fact, for old games like this, I'd rather just play them on my computer, because, like, let's be realistic. I'm not gonna get a Sega Mega Drive. They don't even have home screens, right? Master System, it just boots into the game anyway. Capturing it's such a pain in the arse because it's like it's analog video, so it's like such a pain in the arse anyway. Like, who cares? But I think it would be cool. You know, at some point I'll plug in my Wii U, maybe make a Smash 4 video. I definitely want to play like all the Smash games. I just don't know how I'm gonna do it because they're all multiplayer games. I think it would be a mistake, particularly with Smash 4, which doesn't have a lot of single-player content to speak of. I think it would be a mistake to just play that game single-player. So I need to find people to play Smash 4 with me, which isn't that hard, but I need to find somewhere to record it and all this. So, like, it'll happen, but right now I'm just trying to do the easiest videos possible while I'm a little bit more busy. During the summer I'll have more time to hopefully arrange that kind of thing. Anyway, that was Ristar. Pretty fun game, pretty cool game. Yeah.